Hey YouTube, what's up? Woodsman500 here with my third video on my knife review. I'm going to show you another multi-tool. Um, so keep watching, stay tuned. We're going to get into some. Now we're getting into medium-sized multi-tools. Here we go. Woodsman500 if I didn't say it before. This is one, just a cheap one that you can get. This isn't the good Victorinox Swiss Army. But it is still something. I like this because it's tough, fairly tough, and like I showed you before in my other video, it's got that keyring onto it again. It's got the military style spoon and the fork as well, three-prong fork. It also has your regular knife. Same size as the other one, 2 inches. All these are pretty much 2 inches. That's what you're talking when you get into multi-tools, is 2-inch long blades. Here we have the, this is really weird, I never noticed this, but it has one there and then it has one there. You could even sharpen these down with an axe file, or not an axe, but a chainsaw file, make it a gut hook for fishing or whatever you wanted to do if you wanted to sharpen down. Once again, there's a fish scaler right there with the prongs on the top. I talked about that before. Trying to get the, oh, yep. And scissors as well. Something to be aware of. Don't open up all your multi-tools like this. Don't open them up like that because they're hard to get back together, I find, and it's dangerous because you're pushing them, and when you get into knives and stuff, you don't want to be messing around because you could get hurt. As you can see, I like this one because it's separated. You can take this apart if you wanted to fit into a drawer. See that down in there, that little shaft there, that's nothing. I don't like this because it doesn't have a saw. Any multi-tool that doesn't have a saw is pretty much useless, unless you're carrying on you in an urban setting. You always want to have a saw into your multi-tool, unless for that specific reason, if not being in a woodsy setting. Another thing I don't like is that these spoons here, I find they get in the way. If I want to get at my knife, I have to lift this spoon up, and then there's my knife right there. That's the only reason I don't like it. Because it's so small, it doesn't give you a real good length for stirring onto your spoon. It's kind of a short thing for eating. The fork is kind of hard to use because it's 3-pronged. Usually you get 4-pronged forks. And like I said before, you gotta move this if you want to get to your bottle opener. Once again, like my other one, as soon as you get from here, you can, oh, by the way, while I'm here, you can see the thickness difference. This one would be a better carry item, daily carry. Anyways, as I was saying, what was it? Oh yes, as always, on the back, doesn't matter what the design is, it's always going to be something on the back. On this one, all of them, pretty much mandatory, have a corkscrew. I don't have any use for them. And then there's a little hooker or whatever you can use that for. A lot of these things I don't have use for. For my setting, I don't have uses for. But most of the stuff I can use. I like the ones with the saw onto them. Like this one has a saw onto it, and the axe head on top. We'll get into that one later. But I like this multi-tool. It's good for like camping, and if you didn't have a fork and you didn't want to go into the camp and wake somebody up, you can just use this if you had it on you. I find these are fairly hard to open up. These, like I said, this is a newer model, so it's easier. It's not quite broken in yet. But just a neat little multi-tool. I've seen bigger ones of these, like the ones that come out this long, and then I find them ones are too big if you're gonna daily carry item. Anything like that, really, it's gonna be too big, and it doesn't have a belt, a sheath onto it, you're gonna have a tricky time trying to carry it. And remember weight when you talk about multi-tools. You're gonna be, this is heavy, this is not light, and this one's not light either. For me, not a big problem. Not a big problem for me for weight, personally. Weight's not, I can deal with weight, as long as I'll have, that stuff to use when I get to my campsite. Yeah, like I said, weight. It all depends on where you're going, what you're doing. If I was canoeing, staying a night, I wouldn't pack something like this. I'd pack something lighter. Maybe just a night instead of the multi-tool. Actually, this is probably pretty close to the same weight as this. Yeah, this one's a little bit heavier than this. Like I said, think about weight when you think about buying your multi-tool. What am I going to be using it for? Am I going to be carrying it on me daily, or am I going to be just out in the woods cutting stuff down or messing around outside? It all depends on what you're doing. So base your facts around that. When you go to buy a multi-tool, make sure that's tough, durable, reliable name. Like I said, this is just a cheap one. I don't know. Canadian Tire, I think this was. Most of my stuff comes from Crappy Tire, Canadian Tire. I actually like Canadian Tire a lot, because they got good stuff usually, most of the time. And I'm usually getting my money worth when I go to Canadian Tire. Like I said, you can get this at different stores, maybe your local retailer, anything like that. You can get these multi-tools. Normally, if I'm out in the woods, say this quickly, I'm going to be carrying this and this. Partly because, I'll open this up quickly, jump ahead of my Stuff 119 view. Well, one use. I got a knife. That's it. With this, I got a saw, can opener, blah 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 blah. With this, I only got one use. Unless you have something like your Ruko blade, and yes, I'm going to show you what happened to it, which has this on it. As you can see, the handle is no longer present on this knife. Smash. I'll be talking about that later on. What I'm going to do with this, actually, and then show you the end result later on if I can get to it. Yeah. So yeah, this one smashed. Ruko. Not very good handle, but the blade is amazing. I'm very impressed with this blade. This keeps an edge better than my buck, my personal opinion. And I've been chopping wood with this. I kept the sheath too. Don't worry. Just show you what I got. Soapstone, or not soapstone, whetstone. Talk about that later. Oh, by the way, while I'm here, I'm gonna update you on my knife making. You've seen it in other videos, short ones. Ta-da! You've never seen the handle before, but you've seen this. It's all shaped out. See the handle there, and then there's the blade. That's a 14-inch blade, or not 14 inches, but more like 6.5. A big long blade. This even fits into my Ruko knife sheath. Fits in there fairly good, but I got other plans for this sheath that I'm going to use. When you break a knife, don't throw away everything. Salvage what you can. Other than that, throw away the rest. Other time, see you YouTube. Have a nice day. Knife review. See you.